it's Lauren. Today's video is going to be about what it feels like going under anesthesia or being put to sleep. So that's one of my most asked questions on my videos that are like my health surgery ones. And you guys just express a lot of concern about being put to sleep for your surgeries. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. If you are new to this channel, hi, I'm Lauren. Subscribe down below for more videos from me. But basically, I have had a lot of surgeries. I will link them down below, the videos, and up here. Basically, I've had a lung surgery, my thyroid, endometriosis. I've had various like diagnostic ones. I've also had my wisdom teeth out. So I'm going to talk about my experience with the different types of anesthesia, because there are different types. There's the full general anesthesia where you get put to sleep fully, and then there is conscious sedation. So that's the scariest one to me that I've experienced. It's basically like you're still awake for the procedure, but they give you sedation, so you're supposed to not remember it and not feel it. And then there's also like your wisdom teeth, so that's usually local anesthesia, and then they might give you some type of like laughing gas or sedation where you're not awake during the procedure necessarily, like you won't remember getting your wisdom teeth out. So let's just get right into it. This is going to be like a little bit informational, educational, but more so my experience on it. If you stay around to the end to my scary chest tube insertion conscious sedation story, because that was by far my scariest. So for general anesthesia, I've gone under this 3 or 4 times. So when I had my lung surgery, when I had my thyroid out. So basically, this is something that for the most part, I would not be scared about. As long as you're going to a hospital with reputable doctors and anesthesiologists, they do their best to make sure that nothing happens to you while you're going to sleep. And actually being put under the anesthesia, it is very similar to when you're going to sleep at night. 1 second you're awake and the next you're asleep, and you don't even really realize it happening, and you don't really remember the process. But obviously, anesthesia, it is induced by an anesthesiologist in medicine, not naturally. I've had it a few different ways. So generally, if you are nervous about getting a procedure done, all of that, they might give you some type of relaxant or anti-anxiety medicine. Generally, they do that for me. So they will place the IV and then give me something that just kind of chills me out. So that honestly relaxes me so much that by the time they're ready to wheel me to surgery, I've always been like, bye everybody, like not as concerned as I was going into the hospital. So with my thyroid and my lung, I don't even remember them telling me to count down from 10 or you're gonna be asleep soon. It just happened like 1 second I was awake and the next I was asleep. So I would say with general anesthesia, I wouldn't really be concerned about the actual process of going to sleep. The anesthesiologist is there to monitor you the whole time, make sure you're breathing, make sure that you stay asleep, all of that. So that is their job. And the worst part about anesthesia for me every time has been the actual aftermath. So there are some complications that can occur if, say, when they place the intubation or breathing tube, which they do while you're asleep, you will not experience that while you're awake. Sometimes that can give you a sore throat. You'll often feel like drowsy after waking up. It's a little bit confusing because you obviously fall asleep one place and wake up somewhere else. Where am I now? It's just really weird, honestly. Sometimes you'll be nauseous, and for a few days afterwards, you might just feel off and kind of tired and like drowsy. But the worst time was my thyroid. I talked about this in the video. Basically what happened is the anesthesiologist or somebody must have placed the breathing tube, and I don't know if they twisted my tongue up or what happened, but basically underneath your tongue, I was trying to show you a little bit, there is what's called a frenulum, and that is like the little stringy thing that connects your tongue to the bottom of your mouth. And they actually sliced that, like they cut it. So it was kind of like after my surgery, it was kind of just flapping around. It made it hard for me to eat, hard to talk. It was super painful. It was honestly one of the worst things about that surgery, but that is not something that happens commonly. So yeah, I would not be concerned about it. Obviously, there are complications and things that go wrong that are unexpected in some cases, but doesn't happen to the majority of people. Now, the next thing would be a local anesthesia with a mix of something else. So sometimes they will give you, for your wisdom teeth, they might give you local anesthesia, so they'll inject it into the area so that you don't feel it, but then they also give you some type of like sedative, like to make you feel good, so like the laughing gas type thing, or they might give you general anesthesia for your wisdom teeth. It depends on the doctor, but for me, I did have my wisdom teeth out. I did film the aftermath of me being crazy, and obviously from that one you wake up feeling kind of groggy and you have like holes in your mouth, you're bleeding, but for the most part you're kind of like feeling good because of the medicine that they gave you. It's just a matter of getting over it afterwards, so you might go home and nap afterwards and be tired, and then again for a few days afterwards kind of be feeling a little bit of the aftermath of it. And local anesthesia is when you get, say, a cavity done where they'll give you a little injection into around your tooth, and then you don't feel it when they drill into your tooth. The next thing would be conscious sedation. This is the one that I told you like freaked me out the most, and I wasn't scared going into this because I had no idea honestly what it was at the time. Basically, so when I had my lung done and when I had like an endoscopy, which is like a diagnostic procedure. The endoscopy, it was fine, but that time I woke up feeling great afterwards. I was like, felt great, I was feeling happy, and then I didn't really feel the aftermath of that. But then I had conscious sedation for when I had my chest tube placed, the first time I ever had a lung collapse. And basically, when they place a chest tube, it is a bedside procedure usually, so they placed it in the emergency room. My mom was there, she was able to stay in the room. So basically they gave me a medicine and told me that I'd be awake, but I would not remember what was happening, or I would not be like feeling what was going on. So they gave me it. They obviously, when they place a chest tube on your side, you're rolled onto your side and they do it that way. So my mom stayed in the room and she said the whole time my eyes were open. That's so freaky to me. So I was just like staring off into the distance, and waking up from that, whatever it was, the combination that they gave me, I thought I had died. I'm not even joking. So I obviously was like, must have been, they rolled me back over and I was staring at the ceiling, and it was like if you were playing a video game or something where like a Pac-Man, or like where the screen just keeps repeating. It was like the ceiling tiles just kept like moving, like scrolling, and I could hear everything that was going on, and I was in pain, and I wanted to like talk and move, but I couldn't move and I couldn't talk, but I could hear like my mom talking. I could hear like the alarm bells and things going off that happens in the hospital, but I couldn't like talk or do anything, and I honestly thought I was dead, and I was like in the sky like listening to what was going on. I had no idea. It was really freaky, but that was just a bad experience for me. I'm not sure if that's normal to have happened, but in general, those are my experiences with anesthesia, with my various procedures that I've had done. I don't think that you guys should really worry about it and be concerned about it. In my case, I've had it several times and it does suck, and mostly it's the aftermath, so the side effects of the anesthesia wearing off, more so than the actual process of going to sleep. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Bye!